So with Halloween right around the corner, everybody's excited. The kids are excited. But one of the biggest questions we always hear. Do I have to disclose if my house is haunted? Oh man, but no, really. So for real, I hear this question all the time, and it's usually with people that aren't even buying or selling. It's like one of those questions that you just ask somebody, like
watching too much Ghost Hunters.
yeah, exactly. So do I have to disclose my house if it's haunted, or if there's been a murder, or if there's been a suicide? That's kind of a big question, and and unfortunately, there's been some houses where people have been murdered or where suicides have taken place, and obviously it's a very sad subject, and we're not trying to have fun with that subject, but people are always curious about that stuff, and that question always comes up. Okay. So then listing and selling a home, does a seller, that's an awful Dracula impersonation, by the way, so I'm going to stop right there. But so when listing and selling a home, does a seller, real estate agent, or realtor, I'll explain why I said that in a second, have to disclose if the home is haunted or has a history of murder or suicide? So believe it or not, it is not required. I couldn't believe this when I heard this, actually. It's not required for a realtor to disclose if a home is haunted, if someone was murdered in the house, or if there was a suicide that took place.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. A realtor or real estate agent is required to refer a buyer or a person in question to the on the property to the appropriate authority. Now, I don't know who the heck you would ask.
I guess the police.
The
for
police
a ghost.
would know. Yeah.
Imagine calling 911. I want to know if this house is haunted.
Yeah.
Maybe ghost hunters, if they're still around, taps or somebody. You probably contact
I would think
them.
it'd be the police. They would know. When I had to get fingerprinted last time
For a haunt?
for securities. No, not for a haunt, but for
like a
murder,
suicide.
Yeah. And the officer looked at my license and he said, "Oh, I had to respond to a domestic at that building.
Yeah.
And it was very bloody." And I'm like, "Ooh,
Oh, wow, really?
kind of creepy."
So if someone does ask, the realtor cannot lie. Okay, of course, the realtor cannot lie about it when asked. But again, the real estate agent or realtor is not required to disclose that information up front unless somebody is asking. Okay, or the real estate agent doesn't have to answer that, but they could say, "Well, you can check with the local authorities on this subject if the agent doesn't know enough about it, et cetera, et cetera." Okay, so suicide, history of haunts, and murder are not related to real estate itself. The realtor is there to market and negotiate the property. It's not related to that, so that's why we can deflect that question to the local authorities. Okay, that's why. So if an agent is representing a buyer, by the way, so agents, if you're representing a buyer and you know something about the house, tell your buyer. I would totally tell my buyers, absolutely. If I was walking them through a door and I knew that, something took place in this house, you've got to tell them, like, I don't know.
This is what I heard. Disclose it. I think it's probably a safe bet to do that. Then hold back information, when you knew it.
Yeah, it is. And, so the question that Mary was leading up to, does the history of murder, suicide, or a home with the reputation of being haunted affect the value of the property? That's a great question. I know our listeners are probably wondering. While some consumers do feel it affects the value of a property, it does not, because it's not related to the real estate itself. Legit. An appraiser's not going to go in there and go, is the home, he has nothing on his checklist of a home being haunted, of a murder, of anything like that. Mm-hmm. The bank doesn't care. Mm-hmm. They don't care. Right. Okay. All right. And a consumer study by Realtor.com, this is interesting, shows that more than half of Americans would live in a residence that has a reputation of being haunted.
Well, only if they're good ghosts.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Are they good ghosts? Like Beetlejuice?
Oh, man. Beetlejuice.
I'm going to go watch that now.
That's a classic movie. So
classic 80s.
I just thought that was like a segment that's pretty interesting, especially around Halloween, because everybody always has that question. If you want to read the blog, please log on to our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, type in the Roundtable Radio, and with Emilio Despirito. I don't know if you have to type all that out, or you could go to Google and you type in, or actually, you know what? Forget all that. Go to theroundtableradio.com. There's a little Facebook logo. Just click that thing. And then you can read the blog here. You can comment on it. We love hearing from our listeners.